We'll be reading out of the Scriptures, 2009 version. Exodus chapter 26 on page 84. And make the dwelling place with 10 curtains of fine woven linen and blue and purple and scarlet material. Make them with cherubim, the work of a skilled workman. The length of each curtain is 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. All curtains having one measure. 5 curtains are joined to each other, and 5 curtains are joined to each other. And you shall make hoops of blue on the edge of the curtain on one set, and do the same on the edge of on the end of the curtain on the second set. Make 50 hoops in the one curtain, and make 50 hoops on the edge of the end of curtain of the second set, and the loops being opposite on to each other. And you shall make 50 hooks of gold, and shall join the curtains together with the hooks, and the dwelling place shall be one. And you shall make curtains of goat's hair for a tent over the dwelling place. Make 11 curtains. The length of each curtain is 30 cubits, and the width of each curtain 4 cubits. One measure to the 11 curtains. And you shall join the 5 curtains by themselves, and the 6 curtains by themselves, and you shall double over the 6 curtains to the front of the tent. And you shall make 50 hoops on the edge of the curtain that is outermost in one set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain, the second set. You shall make 50 bronze hooks, and put the hooks into the hoops, and join the tent together, and it shall be one. And the overlapping part of the rest of the curtain of the tent, and the half curtain remains, shall hang over the back of the dwelling place, and a cubit on each side, and a cubit on the other side of what remains of the length of the curtains of the tent, is to hang on the sides of the dwelling place, on this side and on that side, to cover it. And you shall make a covering of ram skin dyed red for the tent, and a covering of fine leather above that. And for the dwelling place you shall make boards of Arcadia wood, standing up, 10 cubits in length of a board, and a cubit and a half wide of each board. 2 tenons on in each board for binding one to another. Do the same for all the boards of the dwelling place. And you shall make the boards for the dwelling place, 20 boards for the south side, and make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under each of the boards for its tenons. And for the second side of the dwelling place on the north side, 20 boards, and there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under each of the boards. And for the extreme parts of the dwelling place westward, make 6 boards, and make 2 boards for the back corners of the dwelling place. And they are double beneath. In similarity, they are complete at the top to one ring. So it is for both of them. they are for 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards with their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under each board, and 2 sockets under the other board. And you shall make bars of Arcadia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the dwelling place, and 5 bars for the boards on the other side. And the dwelling place and the 5 bars for the board of the dwelling place for the extreme westward part, with the middle bar in the midst of the boards going through from end to end, and overlay the boards with gold, and make the rings of gold as holders for the bars, and overlays the bars with gold. And you shall raise up the dwelling place according to its pattern which you were shown on the mountain. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen, the work of a skilled workman made with cherubim. And you shall put it on the 4 columns of Arcadia wood overlaid with gold, their hooks of gold upon 4 sockets of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the hooks, and shall bring the ark of the witness there behind the veil, and the veil shall make a separation for you between the set apart and the most set apart place. And you shall put the lid of anointment upon the ark of the witness in the most set apart place. And you shall set the table outside the veil, and the lampstand outside the table on the side of the dwelling place toward the south, and put the table on the north side. And you shall make a covering for the tent, a covering for the door of the tent, of blue and purple and scarlet material, and fine woven linen made by a weaver. And you shall make for the covering 5 columns of Arcadia wood, and overlay them with gold, with their hooks of gold, and you shall cast 5 sockets of bronze for them. End of Exodus 26. First Samuel 26. Samuel has died. David has another wife. Okay. And the Ziphites came to Shaul at Gibeon, saying, Is not David hiding himself in the hill of Hakiah, overlooking the wasteland? And Shaul rose up and went down to the wilderness of Ziph, and with him 3,000 chosen men of Israel, to seek David in the wilderness of Ziph. And Shaul encamped in the hill of Hakiah, overlooking the wasteland by the way, while David was dwelling in the wilderness. And he saw Saul came after him into the wilderness. And David sent out spies, learned that Saul had indeed come. And David rose up and came to the place where Saul had encamped. And David saw the place where Saul lay, and Abner, son of Ner, the commander of his army. And Saul was lying within the enclosure, with the people encamped all around him. And David spoke up and said to Amalek the Hittite, and to Absalom, son of Shirai, brother of Joab, saying, Who does go down with me to Shaul in camp? And Absalom said, I go down with you. And David and Absalom came to the people by night, and saw Shaul lying asleep within the camp, with his spears stuck in the ground by his head. And Abner and the people lay all around him. And Abner said to David, Elohim has surrendered your enemy into your hand this day, and now please let me strike him at once with the spear right into the earth, and not a second time. But David said to Abner, do not destroy him, for who shall stretch out his hand against the anointed of Yahweh and be guiltless? David also said, as Yahweh lives, except Yahweh does smite him, or his day come that he shall die, or he shall go out to battle and perish. Far be it from me, by Yahweh, that I stretch out my hand against the anointed of Yahweh. And now please take the spear and the jug of water that are by his head, and let us go. So David took the spear and the jug of water by Saul's head, and they went away. And no man saw it, or knew it, or awoke, for they were all asleep, because a deep sleep from Yahweh had fallen on them. And David passed over to the other side, and stood on top of a hill, far away, a great distance being between them. And David called out to the people of Abner, son of Ner, saying, do not answer Abner. And Abner answered, who are you, calling out to the sovereign? And David said to Abner, are you not a man? And who is like you in Israel? Why then have you not guarded your master, the sovereign? For one of the people came in to destroy your master, the sovereign. What you have done is not good. As Yahweh lives, you are worthy to die, because you have not guarded your master, the anointed of Yahweh. And now see where the sovereign spear is, the jug of water that was by his head. And Saul recognized David's voice and said, is that your voice, my son David? And David said, it is my voice, my master, O sovereign. And he said, why is this that my master is pursuing his servant? For what have I done, or what evil is in my hand? And now please let my master, the sovereign, hear the words of his servant. If Yahweh has moved you against me, let him accept an offering. But if it is the children of men, then they are cursed before Yahweh. For they have driven me out today, that I should not join myself to the inheritance of Yahweh, saying, go serve other mighty ones. And now, do not let my blood fall to the earth before the face of Yahweh. For the sovereign of Israel has come out to seek a flea, as when one hunts a partridge in the mountains. And Saul said, I have sinned. Come back, my son David, for no more am I going to do evil to you, because my life was precious in your eyes today. See, I have acted foolishly, and have greatly strayed. And David answered and said, the sovereign spear, and let one of the young men come over and get it. And let Yahweh reward every man for his righteousness and his trustworthiness. For this day Yahweh gave you into my hand, but I would not stretch out my hand against the anointed of Yahweh. And see, as your life has been valued in my eyes today, so let my life be valued in the eyes of Yahweh, and let him deliver me out of all distress. And Saul said to David, blessed are you, my son David, achieving much, and indeed prevailing. And David went on his way, and Saul returned to his place. Psalm 70 on page 684. O Elohim, deliver me, hasten to help me, O Yahweh. Let those who seek my life be ashamed and abashed. Let those who are desiring my evil be turned back and humiliated. Let those who say, aha, be turned back because of their shame. Let all those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let those who love your deliverance always say, let Elohim be made great. But I am poor and needy. Hasten to me, O Elohim. You are my help and my deliverer. O Yahweh, do not delay. Proverbs 3 on page 731. I think the Psalms are good to be reading with Samuel. Kind of good to go there. (731) for Psalms, Proverbs 3. My son, do not forget my Torah, and let your heart watch over my commands. For length of days and long life and peace they add to you. Let not loving commitment and truth forsake you. Bind them around your neck, write them on the tablet of your heart, thus finding favor and good insight in the eyes of Elohim and man. Trust in Yahweh with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. Know him in all your ways, and he makes all your paths straight. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear Yahweh and turn away from evil. It is healing to your navel and moistening to your bones. Esteem Yahweh with your goods and with the first fruits of your increase. Then your storehouses shall be filled with plenty, and your vats overflow with new wine. My son, do not despise the discipline of Yahweh, and do not loathe his reproof. And for whom Yahweh loves, he reproves, as a father the son whom he delights in. Blessed is the man who has found wisdom, and the man who gets understanding. For the gain from it is better than gain from silver, and its increase than fine gold. She is more precious than rubies, and all your delights are not comparable to her. Length of days is in her right hand, riches and esteem in her left. Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace. She is a tree of life to those taking hold of her, and blessed are all who retain her. Yahweh founded the earth by wisdom. He established the heavens by understanding. By his knowledge the depths were broken up, and clouds dropped down dew. My son, let them not depart from your eyes. Watch over sound wisdom and discretion. Then they become life to your being, and enduring to your neck. Then you would walk safely in your way, and your foot would not stumble. When you lie down, you need not be afraid, and you shall lie down, and your sleep shall be sweet. Do not be afraid of sudden dread, nor the ruin of the wrong when it comes. For Yahweh is at your side, and he shall guard your foot from being caught. Do not withhold good from those who deserve it, when it is in the power of your hand to do so. Do not say to your neighbor, go and come back tomorrow, and I give it, when you have it with you. Do not plan evil against your neighbor, seeing he dwells safely beside you. Do not strive with a man without cause, if he has done you no evil. Do not envy a cruel man, and choose none of his ways. For the perverse one is an abomination to Yahweh, and his secret counsel is with the straight. The curse of Yahweh is on the house of the wrong, but he blesses the home of the righteous. He certainly scoffs the scoffers, but gives favor to the humble. The wise do inherit esteem, but fools are bearing away shame. Luke 12 on page 1001. Meanwhile, when an innumerable crowd of people had gathered together, so they trampled one another, he began to say to his taught ones, "First, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. And whatever is concealed shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be known. So whatever you have said in the dark shall be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the ear in inner rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. But I say to you, my friends, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, after that are unable to do any more. But I shall show you whom you should fear. Fear the one who, after killing, possesses authority to cast into Gehenna. Yes, I say to you, fear him. And are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins? And not one of them is forgotten before Elohim. But even the hairs of your head have been numbered. Do not fear. You are worth more than many sparrows. And I say to you, everyone who confesses me before men, the son of Adam, shall also confess him before the messenger of Elohim. But he that has denied me before men shall be denied before the messengers of Elohim. And everyone who shall speak a word against the son of Adam, it shall be forgiven him. But to him who has blasphemed against the set-apart Spirit, it shall not be forgiven. And when they bring you to the congregations and rulers and authorities, do not worry about how or what you would answer or what you would say. For the set-apart Spirit shall teach you in that very hour what you should say. And someone from the crowd said to him, Teacher, speak to my brother to divide the inheritance with me. But he said to him, Man, who made me a judge or divider over you? And he said to them, Mind and beware of greed, because one life does not consist in the excesses of his possessions. He then spoke a parable to them, saying, The land of the rich man yielded well. And he was reasoning within himself, saying, What shall I do, because I have no room to store my crops? And he said, I am going to do this. Pull down my storehouses and build greater, and store all my crops and my goods there. Then say to myself, Life, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, rejoice. But Elohim said to him, You mindless one, this night your life shall be demanded from you, and who shall own what you have prepared? So is he who is storing up treasure for himself and is not rich toward Elohim. And he said to his taught ones, For this reason I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat, nor about the body that you shall put out on. The life is more than the food, and the body is more than the clothing. Look at the ravens. They neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouse nor granary, and Elohim feeds them. How much more valuable are you than birds? And which of you by worrying is able to add 1 cubit to his lifespan? If then you are unable to do the least, why do you worry about the rest? Look at the lilies, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And say to you, even Shalom, in all his esteem, was not dressed like one of these. And if Elohim so clothes the grass, which today exists in the field, and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more you, O you of little belief? And do not seek what you shall eat, or what you shall drink, and do not keep worrying. For the nations of the world seek all these, and your Father knows that you need these. But seek the reign of Elohim, and all these shall be added to you. Do not fear, little flock, because your Father did delight to give you the rain. Sell your possessions and give in kindness. Make yourselves purses which do not grow old. A treasure in the heavens is that does not fail, there where no thief does come near, nor moth destroy. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall also be. Let your loins be girded, and your lamps burning, and be like men waiting for their master, when he shall return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they open to him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say to you, that he shall gird himself and make them sit down to eat, and shall come and serve them. And if he comes in the second watch or the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. And know this, that if the master of the house had known that what hour the thief comes, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. And you, then be ready, for the Son of Adam is coming at an hour you do not expect. And Kepha, Peter, Simon, said to him, Master, do you speak this parable to us, or also to all? And the master said, Who then is the trustworthy and wise manager, whom is his master shall appoint over his household, to give portion of food in due season? Blessed is the servant whom his master shall find to so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, that he shall appoint him over all his possessions. But if that servant says in his heart, My master is delaying his coming, and begins to beat the male servants and female servants, and to eat and drink and be drunk, the master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect him, and an hour that he does not know, and shall cut him in two, and appoint his portion with the unbelievers. And that servant who knew his master's desire, and did not prepare, nor did according to his desire, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know, yet did what deserved flogging, shall be beaten with few. And everyone to whom much is given, from him much shall be demanded. And to whom much has been entrusted, from him much more shall be asked. I came to send fire on the earth, and how I wish it were already kindled. But I have an immersion to be immersed with, and how distressed I am until it is accomplished. Do you think that I came to give peace on earth? I say to you, no, but rather division. From now on, 5 in one house shall be divided against 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father shall be divided against son, and son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against mother-in-law, and mother-in-law against her mother-in-law. Micah 7:6. And he also said to the crowds, When you see a cloud rising out of the west, immediately say to you, a storm is coming, and so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, say, there shall be hot weather, and it is. Hypocrites, you know to discern the face of the heaven and of the earth. But how is it that you do not discern this time? And why also do you not judge for yourselves what is right? For as you go with your opponent to a ruler, try hard along the way to settle with him, lest he drag you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and the officer throw you into prison. I say to you, you shall certainly not leave there until you have paid even the last mite. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible and talk to the Father.